Hello, my name is Darrell Robert Schoon, and I have the extraordinary pleasure to be sitting beside Reverend Betty Tadaleski, the founder of the Temple of Universality. And I am privy to the story that she's going to tell you. But to help you understand it, and I'm not even sure you're going to understand it after she tells it, all right? But to help you understand the context of this story, I want to go back to 1979 when Betty Tadaleski was living in Tucson. She had a job in public relations, and she was supposed to write a story on the spiritualists, all right? Now, spiritualists are, what did you think they were, Betty, then?
Well, I had no idea. I had no frame of reference whatsoever. I figured we were all spiritual.
Okay, yeah. But there was something different about these people, though.
Yeah, I had heard there was, but I mean, how different could it be?
All right.
I had no clue.
Okay. So you go into this little church, all right? Small church.
Step across the threshold.
Yes. And I want you to tell what happened.
Well, a lot of you have heard the life I live. I fell into Wonderland, okay? Looked like a little Catholic church, very, very small. And I found out, and people were talking, they were doing healings.
Healings,
that
okay.
worked,
Okay.
real healings. And then at the end, the minister walks in through the little church, and he's given what I call, they say, are messages. They're giving messages from the spirit world. And I thought, who's he talking to, and what's he doing here?
Yeah. So he's walking around just giving people, evidently messages from somebody else to them.
We've only got one aisle.
Yeah.
And he's standing in front of people saying, you know, this and this from your daddy, and this is from your old friend so-and-so back in Maryland, you know.
So he's giving them messages from people who are on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he stands in front of me and says, and you.
All right.
St. Jude is here, and he says, well, just ask me and I'll take care of it. And I thought, St. Jude, okay, I'm a Catholic, I should know, but I wasn't a cradle Catholic, so I didn't, then I thought, and somebody says, hopeless. Yeah. Oh, okay, hopeless and helpless cases, okay? I said, well, I'll go along with this.
All right.
I'll play this game, okay?
All right, yeah. Okay.
And I thought, what's it gonna do?
Yeah.
He said, just ask me, I'll take care of it. And I thought, well, what's my problem?
Okay.
I'm unhappy, but I don't know what it's about.
Why?
Why am I unhappy?
Yeah, because you shouldn't be. By society standards, you were married, you had a career, you had kids, you had a house in the foothills, you had a swimming pool.
I had a son in college.
Yes.
I had a beautiful daughter.
Yes.
I had a beautiful
home
on the hill.
Everything that people who don't have a home in the hill, but you're not happy.
That's when I found, well, later I found out what it means is divine discontent, which can never be assuaged by sticking things in. Eating,
buying bigger cars, more trips, another husband, another wife.
You know, I'm just miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't know what he's doing, but sounds okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he's giving you a little,
and well, of course, I didn't believe it anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
I figured he was a saint. He did something, right?
Yeah.
So after the church and service, and somebody says, oh, St. Jude's going to help you. And I thought, I wonder what he's going to do. And they said, you can buy that candle, seven-day candle on the way home. I stopped at El Grande Market and got one. And then somebody else before I left says, hey, I've got a prayer to my sister Tony. I got a prayer. She's not even Catholic. To St. Jude. And I read it, and it says, helpless and hopeless. Well, I qualify. So I set it on there. I lit the candle. 48 hours later, I went shopping. And I knew I wasn't going home. I never thought about it. You know, I've got that house, I've got a cat lives on one patio and a dog on the other one because they don't cohabit, okay? They don't like each other. And my job was to water the trees and keep that pool man coming, you know, to clean the pool. Well, anyway, that was my life, and totally ignorant. But in 48 hours, I'm just out of there because you know, been by myself. My husband was overseas with a, you know, government that you're aware of. Yeah. And I said, well, I'm not going home. And then I thought, isn't this something? I'm not going home. I didn't even bring a toothbrush because I found out I could buy a new one. But I never took one stitch of clothes. I found out with my credit card I could handle that too, okay? It's amazing. And I had the house for a couple of years, never went up there, not once. Didn't belong to me anymore, didn't want to be there, so it was taken care of. Spirit said to me at Camp Chesterfield, you need a miracle, because I've got a house I'm making payments on, okay?
Yeah.
And I can't afford that.
Yeah.
And so my brother comes knocking on the door one morning. He was sleeping in the in New Mexico and hunting.
Okay.
But he was hunting with binoculars and things, pictures and all.
Okay.
And he says, I'm going to take care of your situation for you. Spirit had told me at camp, you have a problem, a big one, okay?
Yeah.
But we're going to take care of it. On the one condition. Now, friends, they said this is a formula for miracles.
Okay.
You don't think about it, we'll take care of it.
You have to let it go. You have to let it go.
You think about it, you keep the problem.
Oh, wow.
That was,
wow,
okay, that's a course.
That's right.
That is a course in miracles.
Wow.
That's how it works.
Let it go.
You want it, you got it.
Yeah, but let it go.
That's what it'll cost
you. Yeah.
And I have found out it works for
everything.
Everybody and everything, okay? So that was it.
So this is what happens. She walks in that church. It changes her life. Or she leaves within 48 hours, her old life, lets it go. And the world that she walked into was extraordinary. And those of us here in Tucson who know her, who go to the temple, who know these stories, have found them extraordinary. One of the things that she was told when she went back to Camp Chesterfield, because they told her the first time, they told her, said, you're going to take your Course in Miracles group back to Camp Chesterfield, which is a spiritualist community, which is more of these kind of people, more of these kind of messages from Spirit.
Only high
beings.
High beings.
But Betty,
okay.
I heard that when you went back to Camp Chesterfield, and they have all these mediums, all these psychics, people who deal with all this incredible phenomena. They've been doing it all their life.
Phenomena.
All right? Yeah.
Spiritual magic.
All right. People who were really there, that when you came, it was the first time that the Ascended Masters came to Camp Chesterfield.
Yes, they had created it, but because we had to open the veil on a level that people could see, and that's what phenomena was about. Look at this. And then you're supposed to believe that dead folks are doing this. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but when you walked in, you still didn't believe a lot of this stuff. All right?
Well, most of it I'd never seen.
Exactly. So how can you believe it? No experience. And you walk in, and what comes with you are the masters, the Ascended Masters, who had never come to Camp Chesterfield before.
No.
They came with you.
Right.
All right? You had no idea who they were, what they were doing, and what I want you to tell them what they told you at the camp in 1979.
They told me, Sanat Kumara told me, you're going to be ordained. And I thought, I have come through Baptist, Catholic, and I love the Catholic Church, okay? It was lovely. And, but this is all going to change, and you're going to be ordained. And I thought, well, that's going to be a big difference, and just what the world needs is another preacher and another church, okay? Yeah. So whoever's doing this in this dark room here is like... But anyway, I went back and didn't sleep the next morning. Same repetition of this. Don't worry about it, Betty. We saw you didn't sleep last night. Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen for 10 years. Exactly 10 years to the day I was ordained in Dr. Robert Ireland's church.
The one you'd walked into.
Yes. And then, and they said, now, don't worry about what it's going to be because you're going to create a new religion. And well, that gave me heartburn because I'm thinking, who are you?
That's right.
And you're got the wrong person in this dark room, okay?
That's right.
So don't worry about it, because you're going to learn by travel and teaching. Well, I was facilitating that course, you know, I love it. But they said, that's how you're going to do it. Well, I just figured, you know, there's no place to put that in your mind.
Yeah, right, that's right.
So it didn't happen,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, right.
It didn't happen. And during that next week, it was, you know, confirmed. I met a lot of big folks, a lot of high people in spirit. Most I'd never heard of. Okay?
Yeah.
The Ascended Masters of Light.
Yeah.
And they assured me that what I was told was true, but you don't believe it until
Exactly.
you do it, okay? And the next thing, within a year, I was in India, and then it started, you know.
Okay.
And I'm still working.
Yes, they told you you would travel the world, you would study all religions and all philosophies.
And all cultures. And I
yes.
wondered how I would do that.
All right. Now,
you know,
this is the lead up to our story. Reverend, now she's a reverend, okay?
10 years.
10 years, okay.
10 years
10
later.
She got ordained. But the year that you went to 120 countries.
I went to a lot of them.
Okay, the whole thing.
Okay.
All right, you went to a lot of them. Okay, but that year, what year was that, Betty?
2006.
Okay, so that is 26 years after, 27 years after you were told you were going to travel the world and study all these things.
But I had been to many, many other
already by
countries
then.
already.
You had started traveling with India. So what they told you had come true.
Oh, yes.
You had started a church. You had started, and the basis of the religion, not a religion per se, is there's truth in all religion.
A nucleus of a new world consciousness called the Aquarian Age.
Yes. Okay, and this is what they handed you on the platter.
The Temple of Universality. And they said, stay out of the way and let us do it.
Okay.
I said, that sounds good
to me. All right.
Because it's wonderful.
So you are on one of these trips, just your life is totally changed. I mean, you couldn't even imagine it.
No,
all right, at all.
So in 2006, Dr. Moon received, the saint that he is, received an incredible, lengthy message for peace for the world.
Okay.
And instead of going on TV and just making a speech, he and his wonderful people, many, probably hundreds of thousands around the world in every country, living for the sake of others, okay? And he invited 120 ministers, the ones who were from the Middle East Peace Initiative. We have been doing this for 3 years now, for 6 years. And we were invited to go to 120 countries. To read the message. It was not our message; it was from Spirit. And he did this.
So on this trip, you find yourself, all right, in Holland.
In Holland.
Okay.
Yes.
Now this is where we are.
Yeah. Okay.
You've been traveling a long time.
Yes, and I've been all through a lot of
it.
But but each one, every session was different and incredible and miraculous, okay? So I love to share them because many are unbelievable, and the miracles that I saw and had, okay? So I'm in Holland, and they picked me up and took me to this large home. Now, generally, they're in a conference center or a big meeting place, but this was a smaller group, and we were in this large home of this couple, okay? They take me there, and I read
the message.
I read the message. It's not my message. It's from Spirit, and I read it. Now, in the many, many countries that I'm in, they always have somebody also reading it in their language, okay? But in Holland, they all spoke, many people spoke English.
Okay.
So anyway, I did the reading of the peace plan here, opportunity, and that was lovely. And then they said, now, Betty, we have a woman here who has worked for and deserved a Ambassador of Peace award. Here in Tucson at our church, we had gone through, I would say, a lot of information, a lot of bios and all of this, and had chosen 65 people to give Ambassador of Peace awards. I took it very seriously. And so I met a lot of people I had heard of and never knew, okay?
Yeah.
But we did that one Sunday, okay? Well, here they said, we have a woman that we want to give this peace award, Ambassador of Peace award to. So she comes over from that group and stands up here, and I get to give her
the award.
The award.
Yeah.
Big plaque, you know, nice. And so I went and sat down while they explained what all she had done.
Okay.
Well, it was miraculous what one person could do, okay? And I am very, very impressed.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting listening to her and watching her. I thought, this woman's remarkable. So the Blessed Mother appeared on one side of her, and St. Theresa of Lisieux, who happens to be my own sister of healing, the Carmelite sister, okay, who stands here as a healer for me. And because we have so many Carmelites, spiritual healers in the temple. Well, they're standing on either side of her.
I want to explain to you. This is Betty, all right, in Holland. You got her in the room. She's given an award. This lady is up there, and Betty's sitting there in her chair looking, all right? She's looking at this lady, and she's seeing Mother Teresa on one side and the Blessed Mother on the other.
Yeah.
Now, when she says she's seen them there.
They are there.
But other people aren't seeing them. You don't think, you know.
That's sad.
Okay. I mean, but
that's unfortunate.
All right, but you know that you have a gift with this ability to see it.
That's certainly a gift.
All right, so you saw these two spiritual beings beside her. Then what happens?
Yeah. Well, when it was over, I went up to her and I said, the Blessed Mother was on one side of you and St. Theresa of Lisieux was on the other. And she says, oh, that's wonderful. She said, I'm so glad. Okay. She says, let me tell you what happened. I'm so glad they showed up today. She said, now, 5 years ago, I lay in bed for a year.
Wow.
Seemingly unconscious.
She was in a coma then.
Dying, it
was said.
No pain, no movement, breathing, but totally unresponsive. And all bodily responses had disappeared.
This was a coma. What medical?
A coma.
So say she's in a coma.
But they didn't know
unresponsive.
Because it seemed it didn't work like comas do. Okay, you know what I mean?
All right.
But she said, there she was for a total year.
Yeah.
So she said, I spent that year with Mother Teresa and St. Theresa of Lisieux. They were in my world.
Wow.
They were in my world. She said, I had one of the most active years of my life on the inner level.
Wow.
Which she'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
But she said, I had an incredible year watching, listening. The TV's on, she's got a husband.
Yeah, she's present.
Seeing,
yeah.
And she's seeing the horrors in the world. And I could do this. I could help. I can help. And so with the Blessed Mother and St. Theresa of Lisieux there all the time with her, and she's telling them, they're good friends. There's 3 of them in her world. Those 2 and her. And she's living this incredible life, okay?
In this state.
For
1 year. Okay.
Year.
Okay.
And of course, with all the saddened people around
Apparently
her,
vegetative.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, vegetative.
Absolutely. She's the living dead.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you know, she heard people,
Yeah.
you know, commiserate, but ain't it awful?
Yeah.
And that kind of saddened her, but she's got these two people
With her.
in her life with her.
Yeah.
And she's telling them, because she could see where she was needed.
Yeah.
Now, I could join this organization and I could help these children.
Yeah.
Well, I could join this organization and
I
I'd
could do
see
that.
I can do this. And I can do this. So it's amazing, but those were the very things that she got the award for, because 1 year later when she snapped out of it,
that's what she did.
She did it with the help
of
the
Blessed Mother and Saint Theresa
of Lisieux.
Because she knew they were with her.
Now, she's not like me, thank goodness, I guess, because she didn't say, hey, folks, you know, you want to know who did this and how it happened. But you know what? That's what I'm here to say today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure somebody, because I got friends from Holland here, and I know somebody's going to out her on that, you know. But some of these things that happen, you just wonder, why doesn't the world know about this? The possibilities of someone lying in a coma that we are commiserating about, feeling terrible for, and it's all, who knows?
Yeah. Well, you know, Betty,
who knows?
This is what it was. My sense is, if she had come out of that coma and did all those good works, and everybody loved her, and then said, do you know what? That year I was in the coma, and they go, oh, yes, we know.
Yeah.
I was with the Blessed Mother and Saint Theresa, and we did this thing, and all of a sudden the room would get real quiet. People, they get
now
nervous.
She's healed and she's nuts.
Nuts.
And we want to take that award
away from her. Exactly. You know? But what happened is you came up. She hadn't told anybody.
No, and she was delighted.
That somebody knew. Yeah.
She was delighted.
No, see, Betty, that's, I mean, if anything, this is the world that you fell into. Or it was no accident.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, Betty, you know, the thing is that what your experience is that, and this is why Tucson's so special. This is why the Temple of Universality is so special. Because this happened here to you, your life was transformed, and you know this is in everybody.
And now I want to, we've only got a couple of minutes, and I just want to tell them, so after it was all finished, and I got a big hug from this beautiful woman, they said, oh, no, honey, you're not staying here. They grabbed my luggage and took me to the Zuider Zee, and I slept in a castle. You know, some of it really does look overboard.
The top,
know, but when you're doing it, it's just happening. Okay?
Yeah.
Because when I saw them taking my luggage out of the foyer, I thought, I'm homeless, okay?
Yeah. Where are they taking me?
Where are they taking me? And we go to this castle on the Zuider Zee. And as I said, I didn't know the Zuider Zee was really real, you know? But how lovely.
Yeah.
But everything, nothing as it is as it appears.
No. But you know, Betty, they could have said, when you were in that darkened room, telling you all these things you're going to do, you're going to do this, you're going to be a minister, you're going to start a new philosophy. They could have just said, you know, Miss Tadaleski, yes, you're going to spend a night in a castle on the Zuider Zee. And it would have been true.
It would have been true.
But it would have left out a lot of stuff.
You know, and I would have doubted it the whole time.
Anyway.
You know, I mean, because I didn't know the Zuider Zee was real, you know. I just thought it was a song or a joke or something, you know. But anyway, life is wonderful, friend. Expect miracles, because you do get what you expect.
11 o'clock every Sunday, the Temple of Universality here in Tucson. Reverend Betty Tadaleski.
Thank you, friends. God bless you all.